Alright, so as you guys know, I have been talking about a lot about GP reads, which by the way is definitely a great thing. I just wrapped up another update, which is kind of hilarious because later on yesterday, there was another Naomi thing, but whatever. And pretty much, as you guys know, you may recall that I talked about Mikey Angio. Or if I'm saying his last name right, I'm just going to call him Mikey. And Mikey, while he has stated he's somewhat part of GP Reed's thing, he has his own ARG going on. Now, of course, this is a brand new ARG thing. I'm stepping my toes in for now. But there's definitely, no doubt, a lot of mystery behind his ARG. So I decided to go ahead, since I'm talking about GP Reads, to go ahead and talk about Mikey's own ARG and try to figure out what the heck's going on. Now, to be fair, I have not watched every single video of this guy's channel for multiple reasons. And for those who are a little bit confused, yes, Mikey Angelo is a big fan of Dad Feels. However, I'm not going to hold him against him, because while we may have different opinions on that, especially if you're talking about me here, and we both know where that leads to, I'm willing to put that aside, same way I did with GP Reads. Plus also, Mikey Angelo may be a big fan, but he's not the same way as most other fans with the Dad Feels series. Trust me, I know, because I have seen it. So without further ado, let's talk about who Mikey Angelo technically is. So yeah, Mikey Lugo, or however you pronounce his name, has done bits and bits of stuff on his channel to the point where it's very interesting. He also has a second channel and a third channel and these channels. Today I'm just going to focus on the Dark and Lost and Mikey's own channel. Now, one thing you gotta know about Mikey's channel is that, well, he is particularly weird with some of his, animation. But not in a bad, weird way.
I do not know who that is. Please do not ask that again. What is your name? Can you help me? I need your help. What is your name? I do not know who that is, so please do not ask anymore. Thank you. It's what God knows. When God is real. What a silly question. You're so silly.
With my writing week. Thanks for giving me a week to do it. And I got a lot done. A lot of breakthroughs. But now I'm back to making videos. Bruh. Alright, bye. It's been... Bruh.
Markiplier might not be real, but I sure am. You know what? I think I have something for Mark.
That's okay, because I was actually never real to begin with. I am real after all. You've solved the mystery.
Hello. Hi. Hi, my name is Stephanie. What's yours? Can you hear me? Can you hear me today?
Yeah, that was absolutely bonkers and weird, but in a fun way. Now, of course, a lot of you may not even catch on what's going on, but pretty much some of those videos are just comments of his own area. Now, I won't talk about Stephanie or the whole Markiplier or Dad thing, because A, it actually has little to do with the actual story. In fact, worth noting, the reason why he recently started back up with the Stephanie thing was because of me myself. If you guys recall my GP Relooks things, I thought Stephanie was going to be a part of GP Reads in general, but that was completely false, and it turns out he was just because it brought back the fact that he was looking into it. So, side note, that is important to note. And this also leads into the second point we need to note. Note that this series is a little bit tacky with its, videos, as they have a lot of different videos. Kind of think of it as like my channel. We all know my channel is full of random different video that's like a junk pile of a whorehouse, or a hoarder's house, I meant. And pretty much that's pretty much the same thing, only Mikey's is much more neater than mine. This will be real honest. I mean, again, he's much more neater than mine. So, with that being said, what's really going on with his channel then, if that's not the point? Well, recently, that leads us to our first channel talk about. And that is Dark and Lost. Now, Dark and Lost is a very interesting channel that reveals quite a lot of interesting things, and it all adds up later on where he did a compilation video of it. So, let's go ahead and look into some of these videos of what's going on. Let's start off with, of course, the real one, being my little venture.
Yes, they are. Well, Mikey, are you gonna think that you're gonna work on this assignment? Sure. I'm gonna be doing great. Well, better be. People aren't thinking you as weird right now. I know that, Darkin. Mikey, what do you want? Well, I just wanted to check on you two. Nothing's happening. Also, I'm not coming today to your college. I know that. It's Wednesday. It's art club. Well, I'm staying home, and that's final.
Now, this is actually very interesting because there's no denying that something is up. And by the way, sorry for the change. I'm just trying to make sure this phone doesn't overheat. Anyways, this adds to a lot of many questions. Why does Darkin doesn't want him to look at his computer and what's going on? And P.S. for anyone who asking, yes, that is Darkin. That's like his older ego or something. Think of it like my Fox Cat in the Witchcraft series. It's a different sort of character, but it's definitely different. Anyways, what's interesting though is there have been a lot of interesting things going on. We'll come back to this channel, but there is one thing I wanted to showcase that's very interesting. So yeah, he has a very bizarre nightmare with involving him holding a shovel. And he does wake up questioning what was that nightmare about. That is pretty interesting. Now, before we continue, again, I do want to note that while he has confirmed that the Darkin plot is somewhat connected to GB Reads, but that's only because of coincidence, and we'll get into that document a little bit later. It does seem like this is just a coincidence of him just doing the shovel. It's not connected to GB Reed's digging, and we already talked about what that means, so, go ahead and retry to look for that up. Also, P.S., yeah, I've forgotten, Dark and that video, Life is Quiet, actually was on his channel, but here's the next video that came after it that was very interesting, and I'll explain a bit what's going on.
Someone's after me. I don't know what to do. Well, then again, I could get him back. But, well, there could be a possible way. But, I don't know. Never mind. I got my headphones, but who gives a damn? Shit, what do I do? Alright. I can pick this up and maybe take. Wait, I just realized. I have a sketchbook I can use that gives me an idea.
And that idea was drawing our character. I'm not even going to show the video where he shows off a character. Like, you can even see it right here. Let me just try to, hopefully, just, oh boy, it's a little bit, I have to sharpen this up, but whatever. You don't need to sharpen, okay, there it is. That's the character with rainbows and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I don't know what's going on with this. Sorry, my camera's acting a little bit fuzzy. Anyways, I don't know why he made a new character, but that's probably because he's pretty much, he's probably just lonely. He thought maybe he could make, Darkin jealous. Now, the reason why Darkin left was because he did something interesting, which was he made his own literal Discord chat, and it's seen literally in the aftermath, literally titled Aftermath. Here it is.
Well, I did something. Well, everyone was worried for me. Because of this she person. I don't know how much people would actually care. I was brainwashed by this person. I don't know. It does look like they really care for me. Then again, what am I thinking? I should have left Mikey. This was my fault. I should have listened to him more often than usually.
Now, again, I won't go into details of that part because that part is actually in the GP Reads part where it somewhat is connected. So I recommend you guys check that out if you guys want. But let's focus more on Mikey this time instead. So yes, so pretty much he made a Discord channel and it flopped, and we do see a lot more of his, side. We also see a lot of interesting videos. Like we see video in binary code, Morse code, and whatever clock code is. And I'm not going to play too much because pretty much each one of them is okay. We also see him with a cake that keeps changing, and that's pretty much it. However, there is much more that meets the eye. And the biggest thing that meets the eye is two things that is very interesting. First off, as you guys may have noticed through his videos, he often describes himself as Doctor Who. Now, I don't need to explain too much for those who are somewhat like me that don't really care much of that thing. Doctor Who is pretty much a show that was there around the 90s. And I could be wrong even with that one. But it was pretty much still a popular sci-fi show about a guy who time travels a lot. And it's still a very interesting show. Look it up for yourself. But the reason why I point this out is I feel like the time travel thing could be important. After all, Mikey calls himself the Doctor Who on his, Instagram and all that. So it could be possible that there's a connection there. And there is one more thing we do need to note. And that is his Darkin special. It has a couple of moments that I haven't seen in the Darkin channel, but it could be from the other channels. But there's one in particular that caught my eye.
Moment right there. That Darkin's pet bird has spoke. And I find that kind of shocking. That's very shocking, people. So yeah. So anyways, with that dude further said, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. So like, favorite, subscribe, and all that bullshit. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. My name is Nicholas Joe Aguirre. And I approve this message. last Reboot 2 leak. And basically, my best friend Mikey Lugo is kind of upset at the moment. So if y'all want, make sure to comment down.
Now, I know I'm going to get this shot in the dark a little bit wrong, but pretty much that looks like could be Mikey's sister. P.S. The guy who's talking, that is one of Mikey's friends. He's just doing things. But the picture itself, I don't think the man made by himself. It doesn't, unless he's very talented, that looks more like Mikey's own art. So that girl is important, and she's in a void that's so similar to Dark Mikey's void, which we see often. And of course, we also see throughout his parody videos that he's worried about some time coming up, and looks like he's act like he's running out of time. Now, so here's my theory on what could be happening. And again, like I said, this is going to be a full video of what's going on, and since then I will kind of catch up with the stuff. But here's what I think might be happening and what's going on. So, Mikey in general, in his cartoon form, not the actual Mikey, is possibly trying to invent something in order to go back in time to save his sister. Hence why, he's so important to this whole time thing. That's why he's Doctor Who, because he's trying to go back in time and stop something. Now, it's unknown if that's the cartoon side, but as for what's going on with him and Darkin, they seem to be having a fallout over stuff, over popularity. In fact, again, Darkin has his own YouTube channel, while Mikey has his. And that could be what's been going on. But again, I don't know much of what this... Again, I'm just dipping my toes into this thing. But my theory is, as of now, unless I do start making a series of it, is the fact that Mikey is definitely an interesting topic to talk about. He has his own channel, but as I can see, there's nothing too much that shows that there's definitely a lot of interesting things. But I don't see too much yet, but those are what I'm seeing so far in his, theory videos, or, in his own video. Now, again, I want to make this clear, because this actually happened a couple times ago. Hold on. But if you guys recalled, he did respond to my video, which was a reply to Foxcat. So, I could be wrong with all of this. That's why I'm trying to be very careful, because the thing is, he is somewhat connected to GB Reach. He even showed off his videos. And, he's connected because of Naomi's literally shoving up his butt. And again, if you want to look more into that, go into my other theory videos of GB Reach if you want. Now, the reason why I'm being careful, like I'm walking on glass here, barefooted, is because I don't know too much of the story. I'm still confused on a bunch of stuff. Like, why is he being Doctor Who? Is my theory of him trying to save his sister, correct? Sorry, I said mine for some fuck reason. And is there other reasons why? Because here's what I see so far. There's 3 major symbolisms. A, he is no doubt having symbolism over being an artist. B, he's symbolizing Doctor Who, which is already a can of worms. And C, he has his own darkened version of him. Now, I have no idea what is going on. Believe me. But so far, here's what I'm getting of the story. Pretty much, it's just a more calm story of him dealing with his creations, which seems to be the case. I mean, he even said, "I'm so sorry, Darkin," for some reason. And pretty much, he's trying to deal with his creations before they get out of hand, which they already did. But, who knows? I could be completely wrong. Hey, it's just a theory, and that's it. But anyways, yeah, that's my Mikey Angelo theory video. Again, if you liked it, then you liked it. That's it. You don't have to subscribe or whatever, blah blah. But anyways, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm snapping out of here. Bye.